Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another Monday Mindset. Can't believe it's Monday. I keep catching myself saying that. But I hope you had an amazing weekend. Going to talk to you guys today about why print is not dead, why it should be in your marketing strategy for 2024. I actually got interviewed on a top podcast within the real estate industry last week. And the question they posed to me is print dead? And if it's not dead, why is it not dead? What are you finding with print? Full disclosure, I run a marketing company. Our main product is a print product. So we have a customizable magazine that we do for insurance agents and real estate agents and a ton of different industries. So we do millions of those. We do postcard print advertising. But years ago, we started to transition as well, and we do digital marketing. So I've sent out hundreds of millions of marketing emails on behalf of clients. I've done millions of Facebook ads and Instagram ads for clients. So now I have a unique perspective looking at digital marketing and looking at print marketing. Should you have print marketing in your marketing strategy for 2024? I think the answer is yes, but I'm going to talk to you guys today about that. But before we do that, I'm going to see you on the other side of this intro to get us pumped up. Monday Mindset. Let's go.
There are no bad businesses. There are just those people who don't know enough to see the opportunities in the work they're in. If there seems to be no future or opportunity in it, it isn't always because it's not there, but perhaps only because we can't see it.
Welcome. Man, excited for this Monday Mindset. We're going to talk about print marketing. Is print marketing dead? Don't say that to me. I'm in the print marketing space. In fact, the number one question I always get from peers in the marketing industry and then also from other business owners is, Luke, how are you in the print business in 2023? Isn't print dying? And I would tell them that maybe mass print in terms of using print for everything, every need that you have for your documents and all that stuff. Yes, that is going down. But niche-based printing is actually on the rise. If you focus actually on a specific niche in a target that you're going for, you can have a ton of effect in a positive way with your print marketing. But I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get into that, because it's Monday Mindset, I have to do a little motivation for you guys here. So I talked last week about my brother, Steven. I went down, I sat at his real estate office. So he's a top 1% real estate agent, has about 14 agents on his team. And I talked about kind of the pain point that I saw when I was working in his office, and that, hey, there was a lack of routine. Well, fun story of how Steven got into the business. So Steven was working in a call center about 6 years ago, almost 7, I guess, at this point. So he's working for Liberty University in a call center, not making barely any money and unhappy. He was talking to me every night. And it was interesting because at this point in time in my business, I had reached a kind of crossroads because everybody was telling me print is dead. I've been hearing this for years and years and years because I'm in the print business, right? So 6 years ago, 7 years ago, people are saying print is dead. I got a little crack in my windshield. And I don't know about you guys, when you get a crack in your windshield, it's a great analogy, because if you don't fix that little nick in your windshield and you keep driving down the road, and let's call it the road of life, right? You hit the potholes, which are adversities. What happens to that crack in your windshield? It starts expanding, right? If you don't fix the nick, it starts growing and growing and growing. And eventually your windshield is compromised and you have to actually replace the whole thing. And I had a little crack in my windshield because I started to believe the naysayers a little bit. Man, I'm human too. When everybody's telling you print's dead, you start to think to yourself, man, am I in a dying industry? Am I teaching people to do something that actually doesn't really help their business? At this point in time, we had tens of thousands of clients, hundreds of testimonials. I knew what we did worked, but I had a crack in my windshield. So my brother's working in a call center. He goes, Luke, I'm interested in real estate. I think I'm going to become a real estate agent. I was like, man, this is amazing. I'm not going to financially support you, but man, get into real estate. This is a perfect opportunity for me to test out our strategies on a deeper level. So I've always been a marketer, a salesperson, but never the insurance agent, never the real estate agent, right? You guys are on the front line. So this gave me an opportunity to get in on the front lines. And I've shared this before, but just to remind you, his first year in business, he did 35 deals. The average real estate agent, I think, is doing 7 deals a year. And so he did 35 his first year, but his second year, he did 78. His third year, he did 100. His fourth year, he did 190. His fifth year in the business, he did 320 deals. So that took that little crack in my windshield, sealed it right up, man. I can speak with such conviction because not only do I have thousands of clients and tons of testimonials, I got my own family to get into the business and do print marketing. And it took them to the top. Now, he does print marketing. He does digital marketing because I believe in omnipresent marketing. What do I mean by that? I think you should be everywhere, right? All marketing serves a purpose. You should be everywhere. But I think if you are not capitalizing on print in your strategy, you're missing out. Now, I mentioned when I opened up, I think maybe mass print is going down, but niche print is actually on the rise. Meaning like if you focus and you have a specific use case that you're going for, you can knock it out of the park. That's what we're seeing in print advertising. And there was a really cool study done to kind of drive home from like a research standpoint. All right, Luke, you're in the print business. You do print for a living. Of course, you're going to say print is good because you want people to buy your print marketing. True. That is very true. I would love for you guys to purchase our print marketing. But regardless, I want you to walk away, even if you use another print shop, even if you use another marketing company to do your print, that you should have print in your marketing. Temple University did a research project with the U.S. Postal Service, and they took 59 people, and they not only did they study kind of how they looked at print, they actually took it to a deep level. They put this stuff, I'm not sure what the tech is called, but it monitors where your eyes go. I can't remember, it's slipping my brain the tech is called, but it monitors what you look at and how long you look at something. So they studied 59 people and looked at how long they look at certain things. And they did this for digital versus print. And they showed them 40 different ads, both digital and print. And the print came in the form of a postcard. Not only did they track what they were looking at, they also did biometric scanning, and they tracked the sensories and what was happening to the people from a biometric standpoint. And then after they showed them these 40 ads, right, and they tracked and got all this data, they came back a week later, and I think out of the 59, 40 something showed back up, and they did an MRI scan and then asked them questions as they're scanning the brain about what they recalled about the advertising that they showed them a week ago. So they did this intense research study to try to see what's the difference between print and digital advertising. Is one more effective than the other? How do people respond to it? And here's what's interesting. I'm going to pull up this study on my screen so I don't mess it up. What was really interesting is this. The review time, the amount of time a customer spends with an ad, who do you think won, digital or physical? Chat in. Do you think people spent more time reviewing a digital ad or a physical ad? I'm going to wait till I see some comments here. Joe, good to see you, brother. Brian, good to see you. I see some Facebook users too. So give StreamYard the ability to show your comments. I think it's StreamYard.com/Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay. Someone got it. The Facebook user said physical. You are correct. Makes a lot of sense, right? Because digital, you might be able to interpret faster. Print takes a little bit more time to actually review, but that's an important thing to recognize in this study. Then they looked and said, okay, engagement, the amount of information the customer processed or absorbed from the ad. What do you think won in terms of the amount of information that the customer could absorb? And I'll just give you the answer for the sake of time. They were actually the same. There was no clear winner. People absorbed the same amount of information from a digital ad and a print ad. It was basically a tie. Here was a good one. Stimulation, an emotional reaction to the ad. What do you think won in an emotional reaction to the ad, physical or digital? Go ahead and chat in. All right. Let's see. I'm waiting. Go ahead and chat in. Who do you think? What do you think gets more response, a physical ad or a digital ad from an emotional standpoint? You guys are like me in school, man. You don't want to answer the question because you don't want to get it wrong. I'm like the teacher. I can see you guys right now all looking down. You don't want to answer the question. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer right here. It's the physical ad. A physical ad from a stimulation standpoint, when they track the scanning, when they track the biometrics, stimulated more emotional reaction. That's key when you think about the use case that I'm going to share with you on how you should be using print marketing. Memory retrieval and accuracy. So this one's critical, right? So a week later, they're scanning their brain as they ask them these questions and going, do you accurately remember the advertising source and the content? And it came back a tie. There was no clear winner between accurately remembering the advertising source and the content. So the memory retrieval was the same. Memory, speed, and confidence. Quickly and confidently remembering the advertising source and content. So the memory retrieval overall, there was no clear winner. Both people are the people in the research study. They remembered both ads basically the same. But in terms of speed and confidence about what they remembered, physical actually won. So people were able to recall, and this is a key point in marketing, it's, ad recall. They were able to recall with more confidence the physical ad that they saw versus the digital ad that they saw. Purchase and willingness to pay, whether and how much the customer is willing to pay for the product, both of those tied. Physical and digital, the ad didn't really make an effect on how much they were willing to pay for the product that they were looking at on these advertisements. And then here's the last two. Desirability, a subconscious desire for the product or service. Physical won on that. What was interesting is physical ads triggered activity in the area of the brain called the ventral striatum, if I'm getting that correct, that is responsible for value and desirability for featured products. So desirability, a subconscious desire for the product or service, physical ads won on that. And then value, the subconscious value a participant places on the product or service, physical won on that as well. So the reason why I went through all this detail of this study to share with you guys is because I believe in your 2024 strategy, you need to be using print, but specifically you should be using print in your database marketing. As I look at our business over the last 18 years, right, our big product and our flagship product was our customizable magazine. And the core use case of this customizable magazine is to go after your database. And what most people don't realize is the reason why it works so well from a magazine standpoint, sending to your database, is because people perceive it as a gift and they don't throw it away. But now that I've looked at this study, right, and dug deeper into this study to understand print, it even makes more sense to me when you send something to your database because it's a physical ad, right? Even though it's coming in the form of a magazine, or maybe you do a postcard, people have a bigger emotional connection to that print ad than they do the email that you send them. Not only do they have a bigger emotional connection, according to the research, they place more desirability on what you do and more value on what you do from a print advertisement than a digital advertisement. So if you think about it, actually where digital won, one place that digital won that's critical is in the speed of interpretation. So people spend longer times with physical, but they're able to interpret digital ads faster. Why do I point that out? Because if you think about your marketing strategy in 2024, kind of geeking out here, but if you think about it, when you're advertising to the anonymous public and you're on one of these platforms like Meta, right, Facebook or Instagram, think about it. People are not going to Facebook or Instagram to see your advertisement. So it's called an interrupt platform. It's not an intent-based platform. Google is an intent-based platform. YouTube is an intent-based platform. You go to YouTube, you search specifically for something you want to see. You go to Google, you search for something you want to see. You don't do that on Facebook. You go to Facebook to just view what's going on and what's on your feed. So digital advertising on Facebook and going to the anonymous public is probably more powerful than print advertising because people can interpret your ad faster. So if you had a choice between running Facebook ads or doing mass mailers to an anonymous community, I would probably spend your money on Facebook ads because digital advertising is shown to be more cost effective and it has an easier way to interpret. But when it comes to your database marketing, when it comes to a subset of your client base that maybe you've sold something to them in the past and you're trying to upsell them, you're trying to retain them from a renewal standpoint, I would encourage you have a piece of print marketing as part of your drip to that client base, because not only do all the stats show that in the research that they're going to connect with that ad more and it's going to show more value. I have learned from my experience of doing this, just our magazine alone. See, I'll pull one up on my desk right here for those who haven't seen it. We generate and track our results with a third-party research firm called GFK. They track our results to generate a 31% referral rate over the course of sending for 12 months. So if you send for a full year, on average, you're seeing about a 31% referral rate according to this GFK research that we did. And it makes sense because you are utilizing a print piece of marketing to a use case that actually makes sense for what print does well from an advertising standpoint. Here's some stats for you so you guys can kind of drive home this point of print marketing. Print has a 70% higher recall rate than digital ads. Not only that, print marketing is more trusted than digital marketing. This was a study done by Nielsen. It found that 82% of consumers find print advertising to be more credible than digital advertising, right? So if you think what is needed in order to garner a referral, trust, a high degree of trust. If I'm going to refer my friend to you, I want to trust in who I'm giving my friend to. Print marketing is more effective at reaching older demographics. So Joe, I saw a comment earlier. He said, good luck to all the killers out there doing AEP right now. So I know you guys are probably overwhelmed and super busy. Print advertising is super effective for that demographic. Print marketing is more effective at driving offline sales. So what does that mean? So if you're advertising online, maybe on Instagram, and you're selling like shirts and stuff, item of clothing, well, it can be a maybe 2-click process to get somebody to purchase. Right? But if you're selling something like real estate or you're selling something like insurance, now I know insurance, sometimes you can, order right there online and you could go through the whole application process. But a lot of what you do is offline in talking to that person. Print marketing is more effective at driving offline sales. Why? Because think about the psychology. Print marketing is garnering more trust, more emotional engagement than digital advertising is. It doesn't mean you don't have digital. It just means, man, if you're attracting them through digital, then you can drip on them with print to elevate your trust. And then you do an actual proactive follow-up, can take it to the next level. Last thing here for you, those who receive print advertisements purchase 28% more items and spend 28% more compared to those who did not receive print advertisement. That's a study done by Conquest Graphics put that study together. So all of this to try to encourage you and make the argument that as you head into 2024 and you're thinking about your marketing right now, I want you to think about your database of clients. If you look at all the research on why people leave their insurance agent, it's the high 80 percentile say they lacked meaningful and regular communication from you. I would tell you that in your database right now, there is a gold mine of referrals. Not only that, You should never lose a client. You should never lose a policy. You have to smother those people with trust, with love. You have to raise your credibility in their mind and make sure they feel like they're taken care of. That is why I believe you should at least be dripping on them at least once a month. And one of those touch points, I believe, should be a print piece for you. Our magazine goes out 6 times a year. So if you think about it, you could do 6 magazines, you could do 6 emails and drip on that client database to elevate you in their mind. So last thing I'll share about print as I wrap up, the one mistake I see people making with print is when they do print, they go cost effective. I won't call it cheap. They try to go the cost effective route, and they use really poor quality paper. They do really poor quality designs, and it's basically junk mail. So people pull it out of their mailbox, they don't pay any attention to it, and they toss it. If you're going to do print, spend a little bit of extra money. It's not a huge difference to do high quality paper, to do hard cardstock, to do gloss. Those type of things will make a difference in your print advertising. I promise you that. Not only that, I would encourage you with print advertising. If you're doing any form of postcards or something like that, for postcard marketing specifically, less is more. Being clear and concise is better than being super wordy or clever, right? Be clear, not clever. Be clear, not cute. A lot of people, when I see their postcard designs, they try to get all clever and cute. And the problem with getting all clever and cute is that it leaves up for the interpretation of the prospect, what you're trying to do, versus being really clear and concise, bold headline, not very much else on the actual postcard. And then as you're doing it consistently, which I would recommend if you're doing postcards, dripping people once a month, that should generate a 2% conversion for you on average over the course of a year. But if you're dripping on people consistently, keep your branding consistent. Your content doesn't have to be consistent, right? Your content actually should change. Some of it should be educational. Some of it should be entertaining. Some of it should be endearing to your community that you're sending it to. But you need to keep your brand consistent. What do I mean by that? Your picture should be on every one. Your logo should be on every one. It should be in similar places on every print piece that you do. Not only that, your color scheme should probably be similar. Why? Because no matter how much you put into the design of your postcard, even the design of your digital ad, how much effort you put into writing the copy, to doing the best headline you possibly can, you still only get seconds, if not half a second, with the consumer to try to get your message across. So that's why you can't just do one thing and stop. Marketing requires frequency because you want that brand recall. And you need them to see you constantly. So if you're dripping on them once a month, at least every time they pick up that postcard, they're seeing the similar color scheme, the similar logo, the similar picture, the similar name. And it just adds to that bank account of brand that you're building with them. But if you're always changing your design and you don't have the same brand scheme happening, that actually hurts you, because even though you're getting in front of them, it's not building upon what you did last time. So just a few tips for you if you're doing print marketing. All right, that's my Monday mindset for you. I don't believe print's dead. We're seeing our print grow year over year. In fact, digital, the average person's getting 100 plus emails a day. The average mailbox is getting like 5 to 7 pieces of mail. So all the marketers have run to digital, which leaves a huge opportunity to be seen in the mailbox. Right? So there's so much noise over here. You should still do it. I offer these products to my clients. I have email marketing. I run digital ads for people. I do all this, but I'm telling you, there's a huge opportunity in the mailbox right now, especially if you focus on your database. Takeaway for you is your database should be getting a print piece from you, because it will help them engage more emotionally with you. It will build trust, and it will give you a reason to call, and use that print piece as your reason to call. Appreciate you guys. Get out there and win for you. Win for your family, win for your clients. Let's make it happen. Happy Monday, guys.